Hi folks, this is Karen Tax with the I Am Way, talking about how to audaciously ask for more in the way of fueling growth in your business without breaking what's working. I talked about this last week just as a little introduction related to some work I'm going to be doing with the Council for Entrepreneurial Development here in the RTP area of North Carolina. And when it comes to true self leadership, it is the thing that's going to make the difference between being able to ask for more and fuel growth, put stress on the system of your business and your people and yourself that doesn't cause the kind of confusion and overwhelm, burnout, conflict that can make what you already have working break. So interestingly, this week I was doing some research on other executive coaches, which, is a good thing to do every once in a while. And I came across this list of 4 things all entrepreneurs should do, which I agreed with. It was really good. What do you want? Which is your vision. What do you have to do? What action are you taking? What could get in the way? You need to anticipate. And how do you hold yourself accountable? Yeah, good stuff. Except for these folks, other folks. I keep looking around at all these really smart leadership development people, and they are missing the first step. That's the one that you need to do to make sure you don't create that overwhelm and confusion and conflict that will cause things to break. And the cause of asking those 4 questions and missing the first one is a focus that people have on material things, money, profit, getting results, right? Of course we want to get results. Yes. And this question that people are missing, that true self leadership and the I Am Way gets to, is a softer kind of question. And that question is, who am I? Who am I showing up as? And am I showing up as my best self, which I talked about in the last video, that you want to make sure when you're fueling growth that you're bringing out the best version of yourself and others instead of the confusion and chaos that you could create. And if you're not looking at yourself and how you're showing up in the face of this stress and anxiety that fueling growth can create for yourself, how are you going to make sure that that's happening in a positive, useful, productive way with the people you're working with? And as a matter of fact, it's probably not going to be perfect. So you're going to have some confusion and chaos. And how do you make sure you turn that confusion and chaos into something productive if and when it does happen? So the thing that I like to do with true self-leadership and the I Am Way is to say, who am I showing up as, my best self or the drama versions of myself? And how you can know this is if I'm feeling open and curious and creative and resourceful, I'm showing up as my best self. If I'm showing up as closed down, like I'm afraid of hearing bad news, if I'm defensive, if I'm feeling like I don't have enough resources, if I don't have enough ideas to get us through this place these challenges that we're facing as we're growing, I'm not going to be able to handle the realities of my current situation. I'm going to be avoiding, denying, not really dealing with what needs to be dealt with. Let me give you an example of this. I had a client who I was working with last year who ran into some major drama in his business as he was starting up and growing. And it had to do with what target market he was focusing on. And I don't want to go into specifics, But it was the kind of thing of, do we go with an older technology, which we're comfortable and familiar with, and we have some clients working, okay, so that's the thing that's working. We're in a comfort zone there. Do we go into new markets where there's a lot of excitement, there's a lot of potential for money, but it's super unstable, and we're not sure if that's going to be a steady enough revenue stream for us to launch and grow this business? And so it was this real quandary of what to do. And a lot of drama came up. The CFO ended up leaving. It was like, how do we stay the course with this and get this business launched? And what ended up having to happen was for this executive that I was working with to go to the question of, who am I at my best? Who am I becoming in this business? Who am I as this business in this business? And how do we stay true to that so that we can create something that's sustainable, both profitable and meaningful, which is what the I Am Way helps create. So what ended up happening for this person was the reality of, if I go into those hot new markets that are so sexy and so seductive, I'm going to get bounced around. But I like the steadiness of the old technology that I've been working with and the established relationships that I have. As this person held steady with the truth of who he is, really interesting things that happened. The old technology people ended up moving into this new technology market. It was a blending of the two that we never could have anticipated happening. And by holding steady himself with this, he was actually able to work with this customer and help them hold steady old technology moving into new opportunities and new markets. And it was ended up being hired as the primary technology leader in transitioning this manufacturing facility into one that could meet the needs of this new market. Really incredible stuff. Ended up popping open the revenue and the opportunity for his business. He's got it launched this year with steady work, steady income. This is in the second year of operations. So true self-leadership is what happens when you, instead of getting into this thing about who's right and who's wrong, it's what's the right thing for us to do to stay true to the best of who we are in a way that allows us to sustain these challenges, to learn from what's going on instead of getting into conflicts over who's right or working harder to just try to push something through, which creates overwhelm. There's a lot of specifics that we could talk about. And I think what I want to do at this point is just pause here with this example and with this distinction, with that first question of who are we, who am I, that allows you to stay true to the best of who you are, and see what questions come up for you about this. So if you, as you consider whatever growth that you're wanting to create in 2020, what are the challenges you're facing? And what would it look like for you to stay true to who you are, both personally as a leader and as a business, in facing and really welcoming these challenges as learning opportunities and as a way into the growth that you want to create? Let me know your questions, and we will continue talking about true self-leadership, how to audaciously ask for more without burning people out and creating confusion in some follow-up videos that I'm going to do. And all of this is about walking you into this new universe of business where both meaning and profit are possible without sacrifice, without compromise, by speaking and living your truth.